2. At about age 4, I got my first set of wheels. It was a 3-wheeled tricycle, and I thought it was pretty fast. I learned that me and that trike were no match for my father's foot speed as I was attempting to escape from him in a fit of defiance over, can't remember exactly. When my father turned 90, I sadly learned he and his set of wheels could not outrun me. 3. When we were children, my father had this wild comb-over to cover his receding hairline, sometimes while driving along with my sisters in the backseat of the car, untethered, I might add. We may have annoyed him on occasion. What I learned from this experience is if that piece of hair became unglued from the top of my father's head, duck or press yourself against the back of the seat while swinging was about to commence. I also learned not to sit in the middle of the seat, as escape was near impossible. 4. Growing up, our family unit of 5 lived in a modest bungalow with only one bathroom. Difficult if your 2 sisters are constantly preventing you from getting into the bathroom through devious methods that they had developed. My dad taught me to ignore those bitches and pee downstairs in the floor drain. Isn't it good to be a guy? 5. My dad taught me about the importance of saving and financial planning. His words were, "It is not how much you make, but it is about how much you save." He also taught me about getting the value when I did spend money. Just to remind you, Pop, I have put more kilometers on the Merc than you did when you owned it, and I think there's plenty of value left. I will be reminded of these lessons every time I go for a drive. 6. In 2014, my dad came to Calgary, and he and I went on a cross-country RV trip back to southern Ontario. 6 days as we drove across the Canadian prairies and the Canadian Shield. My dad told me story after story after story. Came to realize that it was not my mother, as I had always believed, that gave me the gift of gab, but it was my dad. 7. Independence was the most important lesson my dad taught me. I believe it is the most important lesson any parent can inspire into their children. 8. Never stop learning. My father gave every member of his family the opportunity to continue their education. He taught me what you have learned can never be taken from you. 9. That a man can change with maturity. As my father grew older, the impact of his grandchildren and great-grandchildren had on him helped my father lose that young man anger, become more content, more patient, and more compassionate. Watching these generations with him made me ask this question: where was that guy when I was riding in the back of the seat of the Chevy ducking? 10. No matter what my dad has taught me, the number one lesson is to always make sure my mother is being looked after. I am not here with you today, Mom, but I know you are surrounded with family. I am here with Laureen, and I am certain why Dad understands why I came home. My father has taught me that every member of his family is important. He was all about family. I love you, Mom, and I will always make sure you are being looked after. Goodbye, Dad. I love you, and I owe you so much for everything you have taught me. I just want to have one final toast. So here is to you, Dad, and here is to me, and if by chance we don't agree, I will always now go with whatever you say. Thank you.